Welcome into this Wednesday morning edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham and Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio. This morning we'll talk about Ole Miss's win over Norfolk State last night, and we'll hit whatever else crosses our mind over the next hour or so here with you on this chilly Wednesday morning. I don't know about Oxford. I saw a lot of towns around Mississippi with their record lows as of this morning, 12 degrees, 14 degrees in some areas. I think Oxford was 14 when I got up this morning. So nonetheless, pretty chilly out. If you're headed and you're watching this before you head to work, probably need to start the car a little early if you're not in the garage, as everything's pretty frosted over this morning. We'll tell you most days about the Oxford Exxon and the blue sky there on Highway 6. And next to that is the Oxford Crystal. Remember last night in every Ole Miss basketball game, you can get your ticket and turn it into a coupon, because it is a coupon, between now and July 1st of 2020. Just take the ticket in, hand it over to a Crystal employee, and you get $150 off a sack full or a steamer pack from the Oxford Crystal, whenever you would like. So we're doing that. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
It is 662-257-1900 is the number for Clark Ford. Call the number and speak to Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for, and he'll send you a quote within 15 minutes. In business hours, it's that simple. It's right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop it around, or you can do what I've done and what a lot of people have done, and that's get into a Clark Ford today. You will love the product. You will love the service after the sale. Corey wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. He will prove that to you. 662-257-1900.
So, Ole Miss basketball wins last night in a game that was frankly in doubt there for a little while. They pulled away late. They had a nice little run at the end of the first half. Was there something that you saw that went, or was that one of those games where Kermit gets to walk in and yell this morning? What was sort of the overall takeaway?
No, I mean, I've seen some people, look, I don't think Tui's a particularly good analyst. He doesn't do anything for me when I watch it on NBA stuff, but I saw where people were kind of talking about him, how complimentary he was at Norfolk State. They were pretty good. It was a tournament team a year ago, probably a tournament team this year. They'll win their league. Good guard play, solid guard play, a lot of size, played hard, coached well. That wasn't going to be a gimme. Now, that being said, Ole Miss has got to play better in the post. I mean, and some of this is just new guys. Catch the damn ball and go up. Got to be physical, got to be aggressive. And they'll get it. They'll get better. I told people numerous times that this team was going to be ripe for an upset or two early in the season. And it is. This is not going to be what they look like in February or March. It's November. They are a work in progress. They will be much better when they get a healthy Blake Henson on the floor. That will help tremendously. And at this rate, Hadim C. and Sammy Hunter better step it up, because otherwise they're going to be the ones losing minutes to Blake when he gets back, because Kermit is not afraid to go small and has said it now enough times where he very clearly is sending that message to his bigs through the media. Carlos Curry played 1 minute last night, and that was a lesson minute. I can't remember if it was Hadim or Sammy, to take one of them out and yell at him.
It can happen to anybody. Got Kentucky last night. Evansville pops Kentucky 67-64. Actually, a pretty cool moment just for basketball, watching McCarty back in the gym at Rupp Arena. And I mean, again, not really asking you to look at the schedule per se. Norfolk State stayed in it. Ole Miss didn't play well enough. They probably weren't quite good enough to pull it off. Where are the danger zones in these kind of games, though? I mean, is Western Michigan, obviously Butler, December 3rd is looming. Yeah. You got to play well to beat Memphis for sure on, a couple Saturdays from now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different level. But point being,
if Ole Miss played Memphis tonight, they'd lose.
Yeah. Memphis loses to Oregon last night by like 8, I think, out there.
Out there, and Oregon's really good.
Yeah, that's not a black mark on anyone.
No. I mean, whatever Memphis is doing this deal with the NCAA that is just insane. But
high level taunting at this point,
it's just stupid. It is really stupid. It's really, really, really stupid. They're playing games right now that they're probably going to have to forfeit. Like soon. It's so dumb. Anyway, I mean, all these games, Western Michigan will be a challenge in some ways. I was just chatting with Andy Kennedy a minute ago. He called the Kentucky game last night. Kentucky's a young team, uber talented, but young, and they're not cohesive yet. And Evansville is a team that goes to the tournament a lot of older kids. They've played together, not intimidated, scrappy as hell. And it happens. So Ole Miss playing a lot of new faces. I mean, on this team right now, the dudes that are playing on the floor that have played before, it's Brian, it's Devontae Shuler, and it's KJ Buffin, and then it's a bunch of new dudes that everybody's excited about, but they're still
That's
new
really
dudes. That's it.
Yeah.
They're missing Terrence Davis. I don't know, Anthony, whether you subscribe to rebelgrove.com. If you did, you would know the answer to your question. The goal is to bring Blake back to practice full contact November the 16th. Today's the
13th.
13th, so this weekend, I think. And then
the first game would be, in theory, against Seattle on Tuesday night.
I think that's the goal, is that he gets some time against Seattle, and then he plays some at Memphis. And, Blake hasn't played basketball, real basketball where people bang you and stuff, since August. So there is going to be some acclimation. I don't think he's ready to go out and put 36 minutes on the floor. It's the one concern last night, is that without Blake, I think KJ played 38 minutes. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I failed to bring the box into here. KJ played 38. I think Brian played 36. I think Devontae played 34, 35. I mean, boy, there's big minutes for those guys. Big minutes. Just not getting, I think Crowley played 20 minutes off the bench, and that's about it. I mean, Rodriguez played 25, 26 minutes. Their rotation isn't particularly big right now.
Yeah, Ole Miss's breakdown last night. Hadim C, 25 minutes. KJ Buffin, 38 minutes. Rodriguez, 24 minutes. Shuler, 33 minutes. Tyree, 36 minutes. Crowley played 20 minutes. And then really a bunch of nothing. Bryce Williams got 6 in early, but then a lot of guys played 1 minute, and then Sammy Hunter played 15.
Yeah, Bryce is the one guy that I think has a chance to get some more minutes. He does some really athletic things. Franco didn't play, but a little mop up at the end. Curry played a minute in the first half, like I said. So we're already to the portion of the season in game 2 that if you're not bringing it in practice, you're not going to get it in the game. That's the other part of this, is that all of these kids were the best player on their high school team. You didn't have to show up at practice to play. You got to show up at practice now.
He's challenged Luis Rodriguez. We talked about that a little bit last night. Rodriguez only takes 2 shots, hits them both, got to the line, didn't hit the shots, and then had 5 boards. Is that more of what he's looking for there to some extent?
I think so. And he missed a couple of front ends on 1-on-1s, where if he makes those, he gets a couple more points. I think he ended up with, 5? Yeah, 5 points. He could have had 9, 10 points. That's what they want from him. Probably 8, 9 points a night, 6, 7 rebounds, scrap, play defense. Luis is fine. I mean, look, he's going to get better. I said this numerous times over the summer. It's going to take a little while to figure out how to replace Terrence Davis's points. Terrence Davis is getting meaningful minutes in the NBA right now. So you're having to replace his points. That's difficult. Replacing his energy. Replacing his leadership. There's a lot there.
Thought Austin Crowley jumped off the page even more last night. Just athleticism, getting spots. Just I thought he looked really good last night.
Yeah, I've got a man crush there.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. That's coming. He's just doing the.
Big say his stat line's not blowing up at all. 2 points, hit that 1 jumper, maybe 3 points, whatever it was. 3 boards, 20 minutes, but it just there's activity there.
It's a lot like Blake last year, where Blake was in his first year out of Sunrise. Very similar. Austin's going to have a big 20-something point game in the next month and a half. And then he's going to have games where he gets 2 points. He's going to be a freshman. Look, this is not the season they're building towards.
And that's a hey.
It's just
calm down.
It's hard to get people to get that. This is a team that if it makes the tournament, this
is a consolidate season.
Yeah.
Build on last year. Don't let anything move backwards, and it's coming. Let it come.
Yeah, I didn't hear the Kentucky broadcast, so I don't.
Who did it?
It was AK, and
okay.
I don't know who he was with. I was working.
Did you get a beer last night?
I did. Got one beer.
Nursed it for most of the game?
Yeah, pretty much. I just, it's amazing how many people look at you like you're a zombie or something because you're having a beer. Fellas,
it's still new.
I can have a beer and write. I do it all the time.
It's still new. Everybody's still adjusting a little bit, I think.
Sometimes people in the media can just be the weirdest folks. I don't. Is
it like you have the plague a little bit last night?
A little bit. I don't fit in with most media people. I just don't. I like a lot of the people. I just don't fit in very well. It's got one Coors Light. I was not impaired.
You handled it all right. You talk on Saturday nights with a lot more in your system than that. So
yeah, I've written with a lot more than one Coors Light in my system. I'm good.
Today is decision day for a lot of people, or at least some different things. I don't really want to get into Brakefield because it's going to be old news by the time anybody listens to it. But what is going on with Ole Miss overall today?
I think Matthew Morrell will sign at some point today. That's certainly the plan, and we wait on Jaemyn Brakefield, and I don't know.
It's 8:06 a.m. right now, guys. So
here's the thing. All right, and we'll get to the crowd thing in a minute because I'm going to defend people, but we'll get there in a second. Here's Jaemyn Brakefield. Jaemyn was for the longest time going to sign with Ole Miss. Duke offered. It's Duke. It's the preeminent basketball program in the country. It is one of the most powerful people in the country running it, and Mike Krzyzewski. He is as powerful a basketball voice as there is in the world. That's not overstating it. That's not hyperbolic. I'm trying to think who else is even in his sphere of influence from a USA basketball. It's Greg Popovich. It's Steve Kerr. It's
not a big list.
It's Mike Krzyzewski. That's probably it. So he got offered by Duke. He took the offer. Duke has 6 players in this signing class if Brakefield signs.
That are all...
Brakefield is the lowest ranked of the 6. They have I don't have the list in front of me, and I can't remember the kid's name. It's like Cooper or something. Coleman, I think, who is he plays Jaemyn's position. He's a power forward, who is a 5-star power forward ranked very, very high. Duke also got a commitment last week from a class of 2021 power forward who is a 5-star who I think is ranked as the number 8 player in the country. When that happened, according to sources, Brakefield got a little antsy. And he basically reached back out to Ole Miss and said, do I have a spot? And of course, Ole Miss has a spot for Jaemyn Brakefield. And
here is, or you want to go ahead and then I'll read it?
Well, yeah. I'll finish. Brakefield took his official visit to Duke over the weekend. I think things solidified a little bit. I know he's told people in the media there that, hey, I haven't talked to any other coaching staff. That's just not true. I know that he's talked to at least 2 coaching staffs, and he's probably talked to others. I know he's talked to Ole Miss, and I know he's talked to Auburn in the last 5 days or less, maybe 5 hours. The signing period starts today. It goes through November the 20th. He doesn't have to do anything today. And frankly, as of late last night, now watch as I say this, it's already done. As of late last night, there was a lot of buzz around Duke and a lot of buzz around here that nothing would happen today. And nothing happening today is good news for Ole Miss. But here's the thing. Brakefield has kind of a hang up and has had it for a long time about wanting to play in the McDonald's All-American game. Reminder, memo, these are kids. Just because they're 6'9" and they can jump out of a building and do crazy athletic stuff, they're just as crazy as your 17-year-old. Brakefield is closer to 19. It's a major factor for him. So if he goes to Duke, Jaemyn views himself, and he could well be right, he views himself as a one-and-done or a two-and-done player. If he goes to Duke and he doesn't get on the court quickly, he's obviously going to be one of the guys that looks to jump into a transfer market. Transfer market means he has to sit a year. So he becomes a 21-year-old redshirt sophomore somewhere, and that's not
it's not part of the plan.
It's not the fast path to the NBA.
Yeah.
Now, if you can be a one-and-done at Ole Miss or a one-and-done at Duke, which do you choose? Well, the one that's been proven is Duke. They've done it. They just did it with 3 dudes. Ole Miss has never done that. So there's a lot going on. If he wants to, here's his thing. He's hung up on the McDonald's All-American thing, but Jaemyn's probably not going to get to the McDonald's All-American game. He's ranked in the 30s, I think, in the Rivals ranking. He's, like I said, the number 6 ranked player in the Duke class if he signs with them.
36.
The McDonald's people are probably not going to take 6 players that are signed with one school. That's not how you market the game. There's also some talk about USA basketball. He's concerned that there might be some repercussions if Krzyzewski were angry at him. Number one, I don't really think Krzyzewski would be, quote, angry at him. And 2, realistically, Jaemyn's not going to make, because of his age, he's not going to be eligible to do some of the FIBA stuff with USA basketball anyway. And so by the time, if you were to say, hey, okay, well, one day maybe he's going to be a dream team player. Okay, well, by that time,
you're still a dream team player. Yeah,
Mike Krzyzewski's not probably going to still coach that deal. And if you're that good, it won't matter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Duke's class is Mark Williams, a center from, I'm assuming IMG because it says Bradenton.
Yeah.
7 foot. He's actually ranked in the rival system 2 spots below Brakefield at 38. Brakefield's 36. Henry Coleman is number 7. He is that forward you were mentioning a second ago.
Henry Coleman's a power forward.
Yes, and he is the 7th ranked player, 6'7", 220.
So you got to beat him out.
There's a guard from Chicago named DJ Stewart, who is the number 31 player in the country. And then they have Jalen Johnson, another kid from Bradenton, Florida, which, again, I'm assuming is IMG. He's the number 5 overall player in the country. And then Jeremy Roach, a guard from Fairfax, Virginia, that is ranked number 24 in the country. So that is their class.
And then pull up their 21 class, if you have it.
I do.
I can't remember the kid's name.
Duke's 21 class has one kid, and it is A.J. Griffin from White Plains, New York.
And he's a power forward.
He is a forward, 6'6", 190. He is the number 8 player in the country for his class.
So they recruit behind him.
The number 2 power forward in the country.
Yeah. It's risky.
A lot of dudes. But you knew that going in at Duke. They're not going to just stop.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that happened was the Duke thing happened so fast.
Yeah, they offer him one day, he commits the next, and there was some stars in your eyes,
Sure.
and it's Duke. I mean,
Sure,
it's Duke. Yeah, no doubt.
And I'm sure there was a certain degree of take it or leave it.
Yeah, how about that too?
And so he took it, and he's definitely had some cold feet. Definitely had some second thoughts. I don't care what anybody reports. I know it to be true. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to last night do the deal where I say, hey, guys, this could happen.
Where
and
it
then
gets
it
all
doesn't.
crazy.
And everybody goes, I mean, not picking on Yancey Porter here, but where I get compared to Yancey. And I don't want to go down that road. And so I don't know what's going to happen.
We'll talk crowd in 1 second. For the I'll tell you about Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com. Make your holiday getaway to Oxford this season for plenty of events, including the Oxford Christmas Parade, holiday house tours, and more. They have plenty of festive activities, including the Midtown Men Concert, the downtown Christmas tree lighting, and the holiday ornament auction, all happening this December. You can come and do the Holiday Village, the Elf Scavenger Hunt. You can visit Santa at Visit Oxford or downtown. So all those things as well as more. Visit oxfordms.com or pop up oxfordms.com.
We're also brought to you by Splinter Creek. It's a gated conservation community located 8 miles southwest of Oxford, 75 minutes from the Memphis airport. Splinter Creek MS is the website, splintercreekms.com, I should say, 601-898-2772. If you're coming up this weekend for basketball, for football, and you're thinking about moving to Oxford, you're thinking about retiring to Oxford, get in touch with Tom Smith Land and Home and arrange a tour of Splinter Creek. You'll love what you see. It's 34 lakefront lots ranging in size from 2 to 25 acres, 650 acres of lakes, pine, and hardwood forest, 6 miles of private roads. The lakes are the main streets of Splinter Creek. They're all just, it's just a beautiful property. You need to go check it out. Look at the website, splintercreekms.com. And again, that number is 601-898-2772. Dead Soxy has expanded its collegiate line, so get in the action and check out all of their newly listed color patterns. Regardless of their allegiance, those disowned relatives need Christmas gifts too. So go to deadsoxy.com, DeadSoxy.com, and check out the new collegiate line. And as always, enjoy the Rebel Grove savings of 30% off with promo code Rebel Grove. Dead Soxy, stay Soxy. This week, the Blue Delta team is in New York City again today. They're in Naples, Florida tomorrow, Tampa on Friday, Orlando on Saturday, and then locally, Blue Delta will be set up in the Graduate Oxford lobby on Friday night. The studio will be open from 10 to 6 on Saturday, so with the 6 p.m. kick, plenty of time to come get fitted for your Blue Delta jeans this weekend. And don't forget that now is the time to get your friends and families Christmas shopping done. DM Blue Delta or email them at info at bluedeltajeans.com to ask about a Blue Delta Jeans gift card for the upcoming holidays. We'll have picks up tomorrow morning, hopefully. I've got some work to do on those, but we'll get it done. It's brought to you by Southern Craft Stove and Tap, located off Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue. Southern Craft Stove and Tap places an emphasis on food and atmosphere, mixing the quality of fine dining with the come-as-you-are environment, featuring 30 craft beers and offering a high-quality selection of cuisine and libations. Southern Craft Stove and Tap has you covered for any occasion. Join them for lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch, or have your favorites catered out. Catering orders placed online currently get $25 off any order totaling $100 or more. So avoid the chaos of parking on the square. Head over and experience carefully crafted dishes with your favorite Southern ingredients. Southern Craft Stove and Tap, Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue in Oxford.
Podcast is brought to you by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Seto County, and Chattanooga. All underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. So you're getting local underwriting and understands your market, whether it be for condo financing in Oxford. You also get the float down option so you can lock in the current rate. But if rates go down before you close, you get that lower rate. Rates that are as low as they've been in about 2 years. 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com. We both probably have some thoughts on this. So I mentioned about the crowd. I'll let you start from there.
Oh, it was a Tuesday night. It's a school night.
It's a small rural area around the arena.
Yeah.
That is the main problem with a lot of schools. I mean, this was years ago. This was probably more than a decade ago. I was helping somebody write, not really helping, I was kind of proofing somebody's thesis or something like that and talking about, and their thing was all the reasons why Ole Miss basketball has struggled in a lot of ways. And a lot of the things was talking about attendance and how you're drawing from such a small area on these weeknight games, on late games in general, on the number of games because you got to do so much. And we talk about this all the time, and it's common sense. It didn't take a research paper to come up with this, but there was some interesting stats and stuff in it as far as just compared to so many other schools, what's around in the areas that you're drawing from, because Memphis and Jackson are completely very difficult to impossible pulls on a weeknight, not to mention kids' activities and different things.
Yeah, so when you're counting on just the Oxford/Lafayette County
it's just not
community,
enough.
There's just not enough people to pull it off on a Tuesday night. I've seen some people say, well, they should play the games later.
You're either way, you're having problems.
I just don't think on a Tuesday night it's going to happen in November.
Later gets local people there better. Later kills anybody from out of town.
Now, later in the season, a Tuesday night where you're playing
it's different.
Tennessee,
it was full against Tennessee and Kentucky and people last year.
It's Norfolk State.
In November
with a lot going on, and people are busy. And, I mean, I use Carson as an example because he's probably a typical kid. He's got OMS soccer, club soccer. He's playing OPC basketball. There's kids doing flag football right now. There's kids doing like OPC soccer. You've got all these kids that play travel baseball. That it never stops. I think it's 480 days a year that they play baseball. And those parents have to get those kids places. You got kids in tumbling and gymnastics and dance, and parents got to get those kids places. And it's a school night, and it's cold. It was about the crowd I expected. Frankly, it's more than I expected. Friday night will be interesting. It's a 6 o'clock game. It's not a school night. It's not going to be as cold. There will be a lot of people coming in from out of town. I've seen people say, why don't they play that game later and give more people an opportunity? Well, the answer to that is television. The answer to that is television. You can't on one breath complain about the TV and then in the other breath go, hey, we're on TV all the time. That's a recruiting tool. Hey, we're on TV all the time. We're getting this SEC Network money. It just kind of is what it is.
It's happening everywhere, too. I mean, seriously.
Kentucky
everywhere.
wasn't full last night.
Yeah. I mean, did you hear Buzz Williams' long answer about this yesterday? Did you watch it?
It was great.
He was asked by the Houston Chronicle, essentially, hey, your first 2 games, nobody's been here. What do you do personally to try to assist that? And essentially, he says, win, and I'm not going to beg. He says that any energy that he expends there in a lot of ways maybe takes away from the point of trying to win, trying to improve his team, that if there's some things with some other amount of time that he can do, great, but essentially you coach your team and you hope that they show up, and that's all you can really do. And, I mean, I think there is that. I think it's something that has to organically just improve a little and improve a little and improve a little over time, and suddenly you look up and you're a semi-basketball school and people come to the games because that's what you do.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, it's what happened in some ways with baseball. It started slow and okay, and then all of a sudden another Saturday it's a little more of an event, another Saturday it's a little more of an event, and, you know, it took years. I mean, I think Ole Miss finally made a lot of improvements attendance-wise. I mean, it was somewhat immediate because the team was better, but 2005, well, that's 4 years into that program, or into that tenure. It took a while.
Yep.
I mean, it's not an overnight thing anywhere. It's not going to just happen. It's already happening.
I'll be curious to see Friday night. Because a lot of the people who come up, typically when they come up in the past for a football game weekend, on Friday night, they're going to the square to get...
It's dinners and bars and...
To get drunk.
Yeah.
Well, now you can come to the pavilion and you can have a couple of beers before you go back out, but it means a late dinner, and it means that you're not getting a parking spot that you normally get, and it's an adjustment. Do people do it to come see basketball, or do they... So, no, I'm going to go, and it's going to be on in the bar. So it's going to take time for it to become a big enough deal. I'll probably have a Coors Light on Friday night, too. Ooh, snakes out of your head. I might even have 2.
Same selections at basketball there at football? All the different alcohol?
I think so.
Are there?
Yeah, there was like, I can't remember. There was like, you can get Blue Moon, and it was like Coors Light, Miller Lite, Land Shark, Lager.
Henry's seltzer.
Yeah, I didn't even look at those. I was looking at the beer selection. I've never had one of those. I need to have one day just to
try it just for the heck of it, shouldn't you?
And I can't. There's something else. I can't remember what else.
Okay. The Susie B.
There were beers.
There were beer.
Yeah.
Okay. But you said you had just a Coors Light kiosk, or they have all of them and you just got the Coors Light behind you?
Right behind me is a Coors Light kiosk, but it has Miller Lite and all the other stuff too.
It just has signage that's Coors Light.
It just labeled Coors Light.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And I generally like Coors Light. I'm not a beer snob. I love craft beer, and there's a lot of imports that I love, but I can have a Coors Light and be fine. Yeah, that's true. Avery's got a point. And last night it was that way.
What?
The line to get a beer was like 10 seconds. The line if you were to get food was like forever.
Why?
I guess people were going there and having dinner at the pavilion.
Yeah.
Like you know me, I'm not going to order food. I drank dinner.
It's card only too. which might take an extra few seconds, isn't it, in the concessions?
Is that right?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway. Yeah, look, I mean,
I've never ordered a concession at the Pavilion.
Attendance will get better. It will be better. Look, SEC play gets here. People will be there. They sold out like 7, 8 games in a row last year. It's going to happen.
They'll have a big crowd Friday. They'll have a big crowd for Butler. It'll be fine.
It's going to be all right.
It was Norfolk State on a Tuesday night.
And you had 1,500 more people there than you typically would have in the past.
Yeah.
At least.
And it was cold last night. I like cold, and last night was really cold. There was a front that was going through, and it was like I was outside walking to football practice yesterday. I don't know if you heard, but Ole Miss football season is still ongoing. And
Ole Miss OSU 6 o'clock from the vault. So, yeah.
And it was cold, a little chilly.
Did you get up this morning and think, hey, it's even too cold for me with my?
No,
I mean it was 12 this morning.
It was cold, but no, I was good.
Yeah, I actually pulled a coat out of the closet. I'm not a big coat person. Don't really wear coats no matter what. And I actually did pull the coat out this morning.
The problem with coats is that you end up leaving them.
Well, that would not be
Here's
good.
the one thing I don't like about winter.
Sure.
Is that everybody cranks the heat up inside buildings to the point that if you walk into a building, you start sweating. Drives me nuts.
There's a very large temperature change in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
It's incredible. Like people yank their heat up to 70-something. I'm like, what are you doing?
What do you put your thermostat on?
Like today, if it were to me?
Yeah.
Oh, like 62.
Not that low.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously?
Yeah. So,
like really let it get cold.
Yeah, like Laura would turn it up to 67, 68, and I'm like, it is hot. And so sometimes we'll meet in the middle and set it like 64. But if it were totally up to me, it's 62. My power bill in the winter would be minuscule.
What about in the summer? What do you do?
It'd be high.
Because you keep it cranked down pretty good.
I would keep the air on 68 in the summer, pretty much the whole summer. We fight over 1 degree all the time.
1 degree.
Yep.
You really think the 1 degree makes a big difference? You think there's a line of separation that becomes comfortable and that becomes hot?
Yeah.
Because at some point that 1 degree does make us a difference. So you think there is a point there?
She'll turn it up to 70, 71, and I'm like, it's not coming on because you need to have it lower. And she'll walk through the house and just turn it up blindly. You don't even know it's on, and you turned it up.
Well, because it's uncomfortable. So whatever it is, it has to go up.
She's worried about the power bill.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw it.
We're chilling.
I view it as we'll make up for the summer and the winter.
You're looking at it as an annual bill.
An annual average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing you're getting killed so many months a year.
You can always put on another item of clothing. You can only get so naked.
That's a good point. Wise words.
It's true. True fact.
Auburn staved off kind of some problems last night. Didn't they? Didn't they almost lose last night?
Yeah, they went down to Mobile and played South.
Oh, was that South?
Apparently South has a decent team. Nope, 68 is not too cold.
No, 68's not too cold.
The house feels great at 68.
Yeah, 68's fine. Have no problem with 68 at all. 68 to 70 is fine.
Yeah, anything over 70
somewhere in that,
it's like living in a
you might as well not have it
rainforest.
on.
Right.
Just trying to pull up the basketball.
Chet's kind of with me. I'm with Chet a little bit here.
What's that?
He says summer is the most overrated of all seasons and things.
What are we talking about, though?
The heat.
I mean, it's hot.
I mean, summer gets old. Yeah, you get your vacation and you go to the beach.
That's why everybody likes summer as much as anything. That and we're dealing with, I mean, I hate to even use this phrase. We're dealing with some semblance of global warming because it's hot and cold and hot and cold. We don't really get springs and falls anymore. It's just up and down and up and down. At least with summer, you know what you're getting. Now it's going to be inferno.
Sure are, Bernie. I mean, Chase.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
But I'm right. I mean, spring and fall, you're not. It's all over the place. At least in the summer, hey, we know, hey, you're blazing today. That's what's going to happen. There's something about that I like. I don't have to wonder. I don't have to get up and go, okay, in the morning it's going to be 18, and then, hey, this afternoon it's going to be 78. No, from the beginning, I know I'm going to sweat off all day. Something nice about that.
Yeah.
Golf course gets dry. Ball runs out a little more. It's nice.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I like summer. I'm just saying, if you say, "Hey, pick your season,"
We don't have a spring anymore.
No, we don't.
It's baseball season. It's cold 5 weeks into league play,
and then it gets hot.
Yeah,
Boom.
It's just spring.
Yeah,
there is no spring. That's my point.
Like, we didn't really get fall this year. A little bit. Now it's cold.
Everything's a month at least off.
At
so
least.
the middle gets trimmed. My opinion. There's no doubt we got some climate stuff going on. I'll eat that one. There is.
Okay.
You disagree?
I don't know. It's a very old planet. Who knows?
How old is it, Neil? You don't have that.
It's probably.
I'm kidding.
Probably millions to billions of years old.
I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Well, Chase, it's 2020 years old.
We're gonna have a rough winter. That's
what everybody says.
We're getting a rough winter.
All the scientists say it's going to be a rough winter. It's going to be really cold and wet and precipitous.
We'll talk some football in a minute. But first, I'll tell you about Master Cuts Lawn and Landscape. They're out in northern Mississippi. You can get a lot more than just your normal weeding, cutting, and edging because it's the winter and that's not really necessary right now. But build a custom playground. You can get retaining walls for pool decks, outdoor living spaces of all kinds, including paver patios. You can get forestry mulching and more with Master Cuts. Patch your dream backyard easier than you think. Go mastercuts.com. You get a free quote or that same free quote at 662-607-7773.
The podcast also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. We'll have a Mind on My Money podcast up later today. It is brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust, based in Madison, Mississippi, represents clients in 24 states, has advisors in multiple states as well. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. Investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research at Pinnacle Trust. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plans built just for you. Cookie cutter financial planners put you in a box. Pinnacle Trust builds a box just for you. Learn about Pinnacle Trust at pintrust.com, PINNtrust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You get 10% off your first year's fee. My mailbag is up at rebelgrove.com. It was a long mailbag. Lots of some of the same stuff, but we approached it in different ways, so hopefully people will enjoy it. It's brought to you by the Westin Jackson, which is home to Soul Spa. It's also home to Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro, and hopefully home to us for a weekend in December. I think that's the plan, but my partner Bernie here would know more about it than I would. That's the Westin Jackson in downtown Jackson. We're also brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If all of the talk of summer got you nostalgic about your summer trips and you're looking to plan one for next summer that you and your family will never forget, I suggest getting in touch with John. He's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. What you do is you give him a call, give him an email, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options, and you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast.
Just looking at this one last thing before I put it up. Ole Miss 51% from the field last night, 33, 5 for 15 from 3, and then 64.7 from the line last night.
Yeah, they missed some free throws.
5 of 10 in the second half.
But through 2 games, and again, 2 games in basketball is a remarkably small sample size. Through 2 games, they're a defensive-oriented team, and they are good on defense.
The zone got them back in the game last night.
Yeah.
They were in a weird spot. They went to the zone, and it kind of fixed everything, and they went from there.
Got a lot of length, a lot of athleticism. They're going to be a defensive team. That's okay.
It rattled Norfolk for a little while.
Sure. It's going to rattle a lot of people. I'll never forget Andy Kennedy talking about it. He goes, that's the zone we run, and we spent the whole week practicing against it, and we still got rattled when they played middle.
Yeah, some programs run it different than other programs.
He's really
very good at it.
That's Kermit's signature.
It's his thing.
I don't think he wanted to go to it last night, but got to win the game.
At some point, hey, let's What's the negative to showing it earlier and get some practice in it early? Because, I mean, you do need some game reps with it, obviously. It's different
just
practice.
Film. You don't want to put it on film until you have to put it on film. But Kermit's been coaching for a while, so
they'll find the film of it 1-3-1.
But it's that specific film of here's what it looks like with this group.
Yeah. This is what this kid does. It's kind of his tendency that might make him do whatever. And
again, 19, 20-year-old kids, when you say, hey, we're going to show you guys some film from 10 years ago when this coach was at Middle Tennessee, and they look at him and their eyes glaze over.
Yeah. So,
they're kids.
Let's
see. They're the same. They're just like your kids or like we were when we were that age. They just happen to be able to jump high.
So football-wise, it's going to be one of those talking about transfer portal days, it feels like. Last night, Miles Battle puts out something on Instagram saying that he is jumping into the transfer portal, got a big graphic and everything, and then it got taken down after a few minutes and deleted or whatever, but it got screenshotted 757,000 times in the interim there. Have to believe it wasn't put up by accident, but it's weird that it was taken down unless somebody said, hey, until you do it, stop.
I'm sure that's what happened.
There's a lot of rumors, frankly, about DeMarcus Gregory at this point.
There's a lot of rumors about several players.
Here's my question, though. And I don't know the answer to this. I think we're still relatively new. And I've got a kind of a point on this because I find it odd. Is how much of this is, and there's two ways to look at this, a real problem in the program from a roster standpoint versus a real problem in the program from saying more about the program than just this particular kid leaving on the field standpoint. And how much of this is just simply what we're dealing with in college football right now because it is in vogue to, as soon as something happens, to jump in that portal?
All of the above. I mean, it says something about the program, but it says something about every program. There'll be kids that transfer from LSU this year. There'll be kids that transfer from Georgia. Pick your Ohio State. Kids transfer. Kids are unhappy. Kids want to play. They're not playing. They're not particularly. I do think if what we hear on the rumor mill, and man, I'm gonna be careful here because I don't want to be the guy that's just stirring it. Most of the unrest appears to be coming on the offensive end of the field, if you will, from the offensive end of the program. Is that because kids signed up for something that they're not now getting, or is it because they're just unhappy?
Style of play, coordinator, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know the answer to that. And frankly, as crazy as this sounds, it's a little early to dive into it because you got to wait and see who else leaves. I mean, I've heard. And no, I will not specify for the people who ask. It's not fair to the kids. It's not fair. I've heard about 6 names in the last week that are all offensive.
You know, the funny part of this is I get the official visits are a big deal. I get getting to go ahead and start the process is a big deal. But as far as your actual eligibility, nothing's changed. I wonder if kids fully realize that. I think there's some kids that think, oh, I'm jumping in the portal and I'm going to go pick a school and I'm going to play. Because it just, something about the eagerness doesn't necessarily pass the smell test when it comes to how quickly you're going to get on the field again. I'm not saying you shouldn't transfer, but it just, there's an optics to it that does not feel correct, in my opinion, to what you're actually doing.
And some of it's a happiness thing. You know, if you get to a place as a young person where you're at a place that it's just not what you thought it was going to be, this happens everywhere. You're not playing the role that you thought you would play, in many cases the role that you think you should be playing, or if you think you're a future NFL player and perception's reality, it doesn't matter if you are or aren't. If you think you are, it might as well be the reality, and you're not getting your opportunities, you just start thinking about transferring, and before you know it, you've sort of made up your mind. And you don't want to run the risk of starting another year at a new place, at your place where you could transfer to a new place. And a lot of these kids are going to file appeals to try to get immediately eligible. And based on numbers, 10 to 15% of them will win. Like, you know.
And you won't find much rhyme or reason why, frankly. They'll just pick some out of the hat.
Hardship, someone wanted to get closer to home. Somebody mistreated them. I don't know. Sometimes you win, most of the times you lose. Or you can go down a level and go play. You know.
That typically only happens when there are not a lot of options, however.
DeMarcus Gregory, for example, if he wanted to, could go to South Carolina State and play. And I have not heard that specific destination for him. I'm just using it as an example.
You know, just trying to pull one out of the hat. Gabe Angel, he went to Western Illinois.
And play.
Playing at Western Illinois.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, and in that situation, you're saying, I just want to go play somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to go play.
I've sat out enough. I'm ready to go play.
I want to go to Murray State or McNeese or someplace, and I want to play. Cool. That happens. Where it hurts you as a program is from a depth standpoint. I think it's going to force this staff to try to balance numbers a little bit. I think you'll see them replace some of these guys with some JUCO guys. I think you'll see Ole Miss get into the transfer market a little bit. They basically said as much. They look at the transfer market every day too. So we'll see.
Reading this here, 8:39 a.m. Eric Bossy says, "Are we headed for some signing day drama? Not with Jaemyn Brakefield." He says he's still signing with Duke.
Yeah, he just sent
as of 8:39.
He just sent me a direct message that says, "Spoke with Jaemyn directly. He said he's still signing with Duke." So,
not shocked. I mean, you know,
not
anything would have.
That's why I did not do for the people who say this will become Exhibit A for me when people say you guys are clickbait. No, I'm not.
You could have put Brakefield all over everything.
Oh, I could have played with the word breaking.
It's funny how we've actually
second thoughts, drama.
It's funny how the business has changed so much, honestly, because 2011, 12, you probably do. To some extent.
Would have thought about it.
From a selling subscription standpoint, here's the latest on Brakefield, here's whatever, here's the nuggets that we're going to throw out everywhere, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do that. I didn't think it was the right thing to do.
You didn't really buy it.
Not really. I'm a cynic.
When it gets down, when it gets down to it.
I mean, is that kid really going to look Mike Krzyzewski in the eye and say, "I'm not coming to Duke"? Days after he took an official visit to Duke, and the kids chanted his name in Cameron Indoor. Is he really going to do that? Is he really going to pull the trigger on that? Even if that's what he wants to do.
Right.
When all of his peers are going to say, "Are you crazy?" And again, where people do the thing, this is the part that we all forget. These elite players, the thought of getting beat out. Jaemyn Brakefield's never been beaten out in his life.
Yeah. Doesn't cross his mind.
What does that even mean? He looks at you like, "Are you insane?" He looks at you like, "Are you going to have a beer at a basketball game?" No way am I going to get beat out. I'm going to go to Duke, and I'm going to be Zion.
Because nothing in his history says you're going to have to wait your turn.
Because everything in his history says he's going to go to Duke and be the next Zion.
Yeah.
But at some point, the 13 kids that all signed with Duke going, "I'm the next Zion."
Somebody's not Zion.
12 of them aren't.
Yeah.
You know?
Not everybody's Marvin Bagley and all the way down the list. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, man. All right. I'll continue in 1 second. First tell you about Tyson Drugs and G&M Pharmacy. G&M right there in Oxford, 662-236-2222. Go your flu shot. I've been telling you about it for a little while. It is definitely time to do that now. If you haven't, $0 copay on most insurance plans. You don't have to wait in line or any of that stuff. It gets you out as quickly and painlessly as possible. That happens with Tyson Drugs in the Square in Holly Springs from that area, or G&M off South Lamar. Again, one more time, 662-236-2222.
We're also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Great lease deals as well. Go in, check it out, and tell them that you heard about Grenada Nissan on the podcast. We're at Rebel Savings. rebelgrove.com, and you'll get Rebel Savings on the already great deals at Grenada Nissan's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Also brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent. He's also a big part of Savannah Square. It's a new 9-acre development 0.7 of a mile from the Oxford downtown square, conveniently located east of North Lamar, just a short stroll. from the Midtown Shopping Center that houses Snack Bar and Track 61 and all those places. It has a number of homes that are in different stages of development. They have a model home that you can check out. So if you're coming up this weekend and you want to take a look at Savannah Square, get in touch with Harry, 662-801-5621. He'll be happy to show you around, let you look at it, and you can view more at savannahsquareoxford.com. And we're brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. They also offer Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. And with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000 and refund ATM fees nationwide. To learn more about OUB, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured.
So college football playoff rankings came out last night. The only really interesting thing, and it means nothing, is it might mean something, might not mean something. I don't know. We'll see. Georgia ahead of Alabama. Georgia at number 4, Alabama at number 5, Clemson 3, Ohio State 2, and then obviously LSU at number 1. Oregon and Utah at 6 and 7 out of the Pac-12. Minnesota undefeated at 9-0, but they're number 8. Penn State at 9, and Oklahoma all the way down at 10. So the Sooners would need a good bit of help at this point.
Excuse me.
It could come, but it's there.
It could.
Georgia and Alabama both went out. Georgia's in, obviously.
Yeah.
Does Georgia, I mean, not even necessarily with them at number 4 because, look, the committee does some weird stuff and they create drama and all this stuff. But you would have an SEC title, you'd have a win over LSU and a win over Auburn. You're in without even a doubt. That loss did nothing whatsoever to you.
No, Georgia controls its own destiny.
Yeah.
The question would be,
does Alabama?
If Georgia beats LSU in the SEC title game,
would LSU still get in?
Would LSU get in?
I think LSU's in. I think these
because would the committee want a rematch that soon after the game?
But you can always just not pair them and make
Sure.
them both win a game.
Sure. It would depend in some ways on
What the game
what the game looked like aesthetically.
As crazy as that is.
Was it a classic that everybody goes, boy, I'd watch that again?
Actually, as crazy as this is, I think Alabama's in the worst shape because they can't win a title. They've only got one game left of any significance with Auburn.
And they need Auburn to beat Georgia for that game to be significant.
Need Auburn to beat Georgia. And if you've got this one-loss team right there behind them with a title, they're probably jumping them.
Yeah.
So Alabama's the one that's in really, frankly, bad shape right here, in my opinion.
And they haven't played anybody.
No.
Their schedule's just blah. Who are their wins against?
Baylor at 9-0 all the way down at 13, which is amazing just because it's a Power 5 school, really is all that is.
They can make a little noise by beating Oklahoma.
But Oklahoma's only at 10.
Right. But if they beat Oklahoma, they can at least at that point say, okay, well,
what's up?
We beat somebody.
Yeah.
It's like Minnesota, their tweet, when they won the game was, we played somebody.
It's still at number 8.
Yeah. And they'll have more opportunities. I mean, Minnesota plays.
At some point, you run into Ohio State.
Minnesota plays Iowa this week.
Yeah.
At Iowa. I know Iowa's not great.
Iowa's 20.
A win is a top 20 road win. And then they'd get Ohio State at some point. Minnesota still has an opportunity. And if they get to 13-0 with the Big Ten schedule, I would be one of the people raising my hand and going, okay, if they don't make the top 4,
we have a problem.
We should have a playoff. They deserve an opportunity to play.
These two teams are going to play one another, so this is irrelevant. But Cincinnati and Memphis still next to one another for that other group, for that Group 5 bid.
And they'll play each other in what's essentially a quarterfinal game.
Cincinnati is number 17. Memphis is 18.
Yeah.
From the rankings last night.
They'll play. Be a good game. But neither one of those teams belongs in a playoff. They don't play the kind of schedule. But if you win a Power 5 league as an undefeated team and you win your conference title, you deserve an opportunity to play for a national title, in my opinion. I don't think it's fair to punish a team because the rest of the league sucks. And in this case, the rest of the Big Ten does not suck.
No, it's fine.
I mean, Minnesota probably years ago didn't think, hey, you know what? In 2019, we're going to be talking about the national title here, so let's schedule a murderer's row.
Yeah.
They probably just said,
we didn't know we needed Auburn in the non-con.
Let's just schedule some games.
Yeah. Where are you leaning on Georgia and Auburn? You seem to be going a little heavier Georgia as the week goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the two best defenses in the league. And all in all, I think I just like Georgia's offense a little better. And the Auburn stuff, if you're an Auburn fan, you can't lose on Saturday. If you're an Auburn fan,
you're going to get a big win or Gus is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you can get to. You're going to turn the TV off or walk out of Jordan-Hare or whatever with a way to spin this thing positively.
You'll know how bad you hate Gus as you're watching the game.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out what your mind really wants to happen here. Because in the moment, it's going to be really hard to go, hey, let's let Georgia get us right here.
Because there's some real hatred in that rivalry. They don't like each other. That's a sneaky hate rivalry. Like when Alabama and Auburn play, there's not as much hate as you think. There's a lot of mutual respect in that I know they're good, and even if we beat them, I don't really want to talk a lot because I know eventually they're going to get us, and it's a little more – it's just different. Auburn, Georgia gets a little nasty. It's the one on the field that gets chirpy. The Iron Bowl never even gets chirpy.
At this point, Alabama's only chirpiness is LSU inside the league. Because Tennessee's not good enough to actually do anything about it.
Let's see what this is from.
Do what?
I might have a little Brakefield stuff.
Okay.
Jaemyn is also doing the deal where he's telling media what he thinks media wants to hear right now.
Oh, right now even?
Yeah. Apparently, this is from Corey Evans of Rivals.
Another Rivals basketball recruiting writer.
Quote, he's undecided on signing. His coach said spring. Jaemyn told me a minute ago he's going to decide tonight on what he's going to do.
Oh. So, high-level basketball recruiting, ladies and gentlemen. Take a seat.
Hey, you guys want to be in the big time? Welcome to the big time. Where these kids, listen, it's hard for these kids to say no.
Yeah.
This kid really is enamored with the idea of playing for Duke, and I get it.
I still would like Duke's position more because it's kind of like a political race. I'll just take the incumbent until proven otherwise. It's easier to sit than change.
He also, Kermit Davis and Levi Watkins have done a fantastic job recruiting this kid for years now. A fantastic job. He's from Mississippi. He wants to play with one of his buddies who I think Ole Miss would extend an invited walk-on invitation to. Not a scholarship, but they'd let him on the program. And he knows that if he comes to Ole Miss, he's going to get real minutes right away. And, guys, KJ Buffin's playing at a level that by the time he's a junior, he's gone. KJ's playing his way into some NBA conversations. Quick. If you're counting on KJ Buffin's senior year right now, I got news for you. Not saying it won't happen, but I'm not betting on it. Because if KJ makes a jump next season like he's making this season, he's gone. And should be gone. Like, top half of the first round gone. You watching his game?
I mean, I watched the game.
Doing things. Quietly.
Yeah, both those guys are national guys, so he gave those different of answers to two different national dudes.
And neither Eric nor Corey is making it up.
No.
So they're both really solid.
They called one another and went, huh, okay.
Yeah. Corey Evans is very good. Eric Bossie's very good. They both work very hard. Neither of them have an agenda one way or the other as it pertains to Ole Miss. In fact, I think they both like Kermit. So, yeah.
So that's our day. We'll see. Is he going to sign or not? What do you think?
I don't know.
Last little guess.
Beats me.
You don't know?
Nah.
No guess?
I mean, I don't know the kid. Seems like a nice kid. He just seems confused. He's like a lot of kids. He's a kid. Come on. And I think the people, and here's what's interesting. I will give you this little tidbit. I think the most influential adults in his life would prefer that he go to Ole Miss. Can he look Mike or tell Mike? Not have to look him in the eye. I guess they have FaceTime or whatnot.
Yeah.
Can he tell Mike Krzyzewski? No,
I'm good.
I don't know.
Because either way, when he gets done with this thing, there's going to be that immediately sinking feeling like, oh, God, what did I do?
Yeah, sure.
Either way.
Of course, because one way or the other, he has to tell somebody no, and that's very hard for these kids.
He's calling Kay or Kermit today.
Yeah, he's going to sign with one, and the other one's going to drop off the face of the planet.
Yeah, that's it.
It's over. That's the hard part. You build relationships, plural.
If you see him down the road one day, you walk over and give him a little dap and move on with your day. That's it. Otherwise, it's over.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, for the people who are out there going, what will the national spin be if? You know exactly what the national spin will be.
Which is comedic on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, okay, come on, guys.
So if that's going to bother you, prepare yourself.
Ole Miss still building the arsenal a little bit when it comes to Duke and Michigan State and Kentucky and North Carolina and Kansas and schools like that.
It's not a hoodie. It's a sweater.
It's a sweater with a hood on it.
Yeah. It's not a hoodie. It's not a sweatshirt.
Well, I mean, in theory, a hoodie just has a hood, right?
Yeah, but a hoodie is a sweatshirt with a hood.
That's fair. No, it's a sweater. I'm staring at it.
And I'm not trying to make fashion statements. I mean, come on.
It's a good looking sweater. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that sweater.
No, it's a nice sweater.
Yeah, it's fine.
It just has a hood on it. I don't know.
In games that are the list that means nothing, your bowl games. Just show you how this is set up a little bit. Here's what kind of close.
It's actually something that we probably need to get into at some point because I think a 5-7 Ole Miss is bowling.
It looks like it, just from a sheer 10,000 feet deal. If it was today, Utah would play Cincinnati. Cincinnati would get that Group 5. That'd be the Cotton Bowl game.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A game would be Ohio State and Clemson.
Okay.
You're in on that.
I'd watch it.
LSU-Georgia rematch right now, which is not going to happen immediately. I think even if they both get in, they're going to move those guys around. Make somebody's them win.
Here's the problem. They'll have to put Georgia
will be the 3.
If Georgia
you just push Georgia to the 3. Oh, you mean if they won the – well, yeah, because they got to win out. Sorry.
It's a problem.
No, you make LSU the 4.
Because
they don't have the title.
And make Georgia the 2.
Yeah, behind Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you do. Ohio State's the 1 for sure, so then you have to –
Unless Ohio – yeah.
Yeah, Ohio State would play LSU, and then Georgia would play whomever else you wanted them to play.
So you could make Ohio State the 1. You could put Clemson as the 2.
Georgia's the 3.
3, LSU the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you would do. Orange Bowl, Penn State, Wake Forest. Oh, God. Oh, what? Wake?
They've only lost 1 game.
Okay. I guess it's that next highest ranked team that you're losing because Clemson's in the playoffs.
So it's an ACC team that goes into today as a 33.5-point dog.
Yeah, I mean, they'll all end in a minute because they're going to lose. But nonetheless, again, as of today, Oregon, Minnesota would be your Rose Bowl, Big Ten, Pac-12. What game?
I'd watch that.
And then Alabama would be annoyed, and they'd play an Oklahoma team in the Sugar Bowl.
Ooh, 2 pissed off teams.
Last time that happened, that kid from Oklahoma just ran all over him.
That'd be that deal where both coaches would be a little worried about, is my team just going to show or not?
Mm-hmm. What do I do just to get them to get here?
The thing at Alabama is that if they're not playing for the whole dance,
they don't really.
They start thinking about, okay,
the only bowl game I can recall them really giving a crap that wasn't a playoff game was that game where they just killed Michigan State for some reason that day. Showed up really motivated against Michigan State in like a Cap 1 game.
It was a Cap 1 game and beat the out of them.
Yeah, just showed up pissed off in a Cap 1 game.
But I can remember them showing up for a Sugar Bowl against Utah and not showing up, and Utah took them behind a shed.
Yeah. So,
who's going to be the Arkansas coach? I'm still guessing Gus Malzahn or Mike Norvell.
Okay. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. I assume we'll talk to Jeffrey. We're going to go speak to America's Youth here in a minute, and we will be back tomorrow. So plenty of stuff at earlgrove.com. Stay locked in there for basketball recruiting news as it comes. We will post on the message board stories if necessary and all that kind of stuff, as it is the start of the signing period. So
there is a basketball doubleheader on Friday.
Yes.
As I think the people at Ole Miss would like for me to, who advertise with us, would like for me to inform you. The women play at 3, the men play at 6.
Correct.
Those tickets are available at OleMissTix.com. You can also get your Ole Miss basketball flex pass there for $199 at OleMissTix.com. Football tickets are available, Ole Miss and LSU, Saturday night at 6. And then there's volleyball against Georgia. Admission is free. It starts at 6:30. More information at OleMissSports.com.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.